So I had this board laying around my house and I really liked it. You know, it looks like a palette, it looked like old distress, and that's the theme of my room. Like, my room is farmhouse, and I was like, it's perfect, but I just did not like it as a sign. That's what it originally was. So I was like, no, I need something above my bed, like a shelf type of theme. So I was like, oh, I think this would be cute. So I decided to paint it all white. So I'm painting it with the Waverly white chalk paint with a matte finish, and I'm just going to paint the whole thing white. Alright, so I pretty much got all of it covered, and now I'm just going to let that dry. I do have to put a couple more coats on there, but as of right now I'm just going to let this dry, and then I'm going to move on to my candles. So these are some candles from my wedding, and they're ivory, and you know, I'm like, yeah, I was just going to put them up there on the shelf like that, but I was like, no, I want them white. So I'm going to paint. I have 3 candles, and I'm painting one white, gray, and navy blue. Those are the colors of my room. So you see here, I'm painting this one white, and this did need a couple coats of the white. You know, when you're painting anything white, you're going to need a couple coats of that white. You know, with other colors, you know, it can be like a 1 coat type of thing, but with white, you're going to need a couple coats of that white. Alright, so this is navy blue paint, and it's not a chalk paint, but once I finish, it does come out with a chalk, like a matte finish. So I was really excited for that, because my other 2 paints, the white and the gray, they are a matte finish, but this blue, this navy blue I'm using, is not. So I was like, I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but at the end it turned out with this pretty matte finish, and I'm so obsessed with it. I love it because it matches my other 2 candles, and I didn't have to go to the store to buy a matte finish navy blue paint. Like, it just blended in so well. Can't wait for you guys to see it. I had to slow it down for you guys to see it. Look at that. Like, that is just so pretty. Like, I have to slow this moment down because, oh, I love it. Look at that. Perfect. Alright, with this here, I did slow this part down so I can explain to you guys what I'm doing. This letter here is 2 parts. So you have the light purple and you have the dark purple. And so I have to weld it together so it can become one whole letter. So I can make my picture so this letter can become the picture image. So you select the picture you want, you size it up with the letter, then you slice it, and then there you go, you have your picture letter. So when you're doing images in Cricut, it has to be a certain size for you to be able to print it. So I wanted this to be bigger than what Cricut allows you to make it. So what you're going to do is just take it, just satisfy Cricut policy and just make it small so you can go to the next screen where it says make it. See here, it still won't allow me to make it because it's just still too big. So what you want to do is just get it to the size where it will allow you to make it. And then once you get to that screen, you're going to screenshot the image itself, so it has that white background. If you was to screenshot it on this screen, you have the grid in the back, and you don't want that. I mean, I guess you could cut it out, but this is the way that I do it. I just take it to the next screen where it has the perfectly white background, screenshot it, hit print, and then when you hit print, you can size it to whatever size you want it to be. Or when you on that grid screen, you can just get a square shape, make that white or whatever color, just a solid color, and do it like that too. But here, this is just what I thought about, what my wife thought about this one. You get it to this screen, screenshot it, and size it up from here the size you want. So that's how you can cheat Cricut's policy of like, oh, it's too big or whatever. Once you get it the size that you want and it's printed out, you're going to start cutting. It took me a while to cut this because this is a black and white picture on white paper, and the lighting in my room is not the best, so I didn't want to cut into the picture. So I just took my time. I did try some different lightings that I have, but nothing was working. So I just took my time on this and cut it, and it came out beautiful. See, I sped that video up. That was like 5 minutes, but just imagine me not speeding that video up. It was like 15 minutes cutting that one letter. Whew! But once you are done cutting that letter, well, once I was done cutting the letter, I taped it with some two-sided tape because I'm going to put it onto a foam board. What you can do to, like, if you don't want to do this, you could go to Walmart and get those little wood letters, because that's the idea of this, but I want to keep this font, and I know, like, if I go to any store they won't have this font, so I'm going to I'm going to tape this with the two-sided tape, and then I'm going to tape it onto the foam board. Once you have the letter onto the foam board, you want to use something to cut it out. You can use an X-Acto knife, but I'm using my heat knife because it cuts through the foam perfectly and gives me crisp lines. I painted this off camera, and I'm just showing you guys like how you can get this distressed look. So these two paint brushes, these are what I've been painting with, and I let them dry up, and so now I'm kind of just using them as like sandpaper. So if you have sandpaper, it will give you the same results. So I'm just scratching away at the letters, and it just gives me that perfect distressed look that I'm looking for. So because I'm going with the swinging shelf method, I have to drill holes in my board, and I just want to say, excuse the stains on my shirt. I had to stop in the middle of this, go make a sippy cup, and jump back to it, and I did not feel like changing my shirt, so just excuse it, ignore it, don't pay attention to it. But yeah, so I'm going with the swinging shelf look, and so you have to drill holes in your board, or you don't. I mean, like, you can, I guess, like, hot glue it to your board, because I didn't, it's like the strings are not supporting the board on my wall. There's nails holding this shelf into the wall, and so the string isn't doing anything. It's not holding it onto the ceiling, any of that. So you can actually hot glue it to the board. You don't have to do all these holes, but I don't know, this is just what I did. Alright guys, this is the final look. I'm absolutely obsessed with this. Like, every time I look at it, it just warms my soul. Like, I just love this. If you guys love rustic farmhouse stuff, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because I have so many more videos that I need to do, because I have so many room projects, and you guys are just going to love it. Like, I love it. I know you guys are going to love it. This is a bell. I'm showing you this because it's Farmhouse, and this is all about Farmhouse. Those flowers I made off camera, but if you guys want a video on how I did those forever paper flowers, please put it in the comments below. And please guys, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please remember to keep your mind, body, and soul clean.